My name is Rendi. I was born a hyper-intelligent being, and you can see this because I recently mastered a niche point-and-click game. Now, playing video games like this over the last 20 years had taught me everything I would need to know about the known world.
But what about the unknown world?
Or the paranormal?
And of course, the spooky.
Well, those were all things my massive brain was yet to accumulate. Until now. Welcome back, everyone. After last week's video, I just wanted to let you all know that I went ahead and took care of Shane Dawson.
Oh yeah, Daddy likes.
And I also, of course, rescued my dog, Nibbler. This is when I realized I no longer had any drama with Shane, and therefore I could go back to my true calling, otherwise known as my hunt for the truth. Now being outside for the first time in quite a while, I looked all around me and I realized there's some very strange things going on. There's bad stuff like politics. You've got COVID all around. All these rampant dogs everywhere, barking, growling at people. And something even worse happened to me as of late. I got dislikes on a YouTube video. So this made me come to one final realization. I was too intelligent for this cruel world, and therefore, I wanted to go ahead and leave it. I wanted to leave Earth. I desired to make alien contact and leave this cruel world behind. And today, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we will attempt to do. We will attempt to make contact. So, to go about this task of leaving the Earth, I had to do my research, and of course, I did this with ExpressVPN. So if I did not use ExpressVPN, my data might not have been protected, and the government possibly could have seen exactly what we're researching today, and this video could have never aired. I mean, have you ever heard of the Men in Black? So yes, ExpressVPN can rewrite your connection and therefore public IP. Governments can match your IP to your internet activity and use that to come up with detailed profiles on you. So with ExpressVPN, your IP is masked and you can browse the web anonymously. On a daily, I'll use ExpressVPN on services such as Netflix to get new documentaries, especially alien documentaries I otherwise couldn't have access to. Go to expressvpn.com/Rendi to get your first 3 months free. So there I was with my anti-government VPN scouring across the internet for ways to make contact with extraterrestrials. And after hours and hours of research, I had found one way that was apparently the most credible and most commonly practiced out of all of them. This practice was called CE5 or CE5 Protocol. CE5 stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And basically, it is a self-guided meditation protocol invented by Dr. Stephen Greer, who has several best-selling books, as well as other popular Netflix documentaries based around his experience as a ufologist. According to the protocol, if more people are meditating on the intent of seeing extraterrestrials and bringing world peace to Earth, then you will have a very prominent extraterrestrial experience. And therefore, this is best done within a group of people meditating all at the same time near one another. So there were two problems. One, I was extremely inexperienced with CE5 meditation, never having done it before. And two, I would also need to find people to form a group, and hopefully this group would include someone who has some sort of experience with CE5 and can guide us all along the way. So I began to look for a CE5 master, and boy, was it a difficult search. I looked through subreddits, Facebook groups, and even local forums to try and find anyone practicing CE5 in my area. And the best lead I had was a Facebook group with only 7 members. I contacted the admin, who did get back to me, and his first name was actually UFO. Although this was a dead end, and he was worried about sharing any information with me about CE5. But let's just say he didn't have to, as I picked up many social cues and style points from going down his profile, which I would later use in our contact with these extraterrestrials. But then, something amazing happened. I checked my other inbox on Facebook, and a man named Seth had contacted me specifically about CE5 3 weeks prior when I started my search. Anyways, he had 12 years of experience in CE5, and he wanted to share this with me. And once again, this was completely out of the blue. I had not mentioned this video idea to anyone. So I had began to get to know Seth, and he had shared many personal experiences with me just right over Messenger. Some of these experiences he had included in our conversation was that he had the ability to contact these beings every single night for nearly the last 12 years. And now he did not even have to meditate. He just had to think of them, and they would then show up. So I had finally decided to ask Seth if he was comfortable with me coming over to his property to perform a group CE5 meditation, perform an interview with him about CE5, and even possibly have an extraterrestrial experience of my own. Seth kindly agreed to my proposition, and he had claimed this address was his home, which he purchased specifically because there was almost no light pollution in this area. So, already somewhat knowing Seth, I geared up in what I thought would be the most appropriate attire for this occasion, and I brought along my friend Rubius Crow, otherwise known as the person you might all remember from my dead-only hardcore Iron Man video. And the importance for having Rubius along for this ride was not because I was going out to a stranger's house in the middle of nowhere who meditates for aliens. No, that's just fine. But because, once again, the more people we have in our group meditating, the better chance we have of seeing aliens. So we had officially begun our journey to an hour or so west outside of city limits, where the proposed property Seth owned was, and where we were supposed to contact these extraterrestrials.
In the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told her
smoke weed every day.
Bill, I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up.
It looks like there's something over on that door over there. We're gonna go possibly see if it's for us. I don't know. Hopefully he's home.
Yeah, I hope so. Honestly, it would be best if he mowed his yard.
Yeah. Get this. It says, come around back if you want the truth. This is kind of sketching me out here. We've never even met this guy. And he's got a note on his front door for us to go in his backyard. So hopefully this isn't like a catfish or something, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully things are chill.
Hopefully we don't get shot in the head, maybe. But hell, we're here. We drove out here, so we're gonna go around back, I guess, and see what's out there. Luckily, Seth was actually in his backyard, and no, I did not get shot in the head. We hit it off great with Seth, and we talked to him well over an hour before the sun set. Here are just some bits and pieces of our conversation, and some important questions we decided to ask him. Alright, so we are here with Seth, and he has been telling us that he has been doing CE5 for over 12 years now. And the first question I want to ask you off the bat was, you know, how often do you practice CE5, and how often do you think you actually get contact from these experiences?
If it's clear out, I step outside and check them out. If any day, if it's clear out, I will. Every night.
And you feel like you see him every time?
Yes, sir. $100 to both of them. If we don't see something tonight, it's a guarantee that we'll see something. It's a guarantee that we'll see something.
Yeah.
it's part of human history that we're supposed to know about this. And yes, the first time I ever made contact was I was pumping wells, and I was listening to his meditation throughout the day. And when I got home, I made contact. I was sitting outside the back of the truck and look up, and the first sighting I ever had, and it's been on ever since.
So you were saying before we met that you were using a laser pointer to make contact with these. How often do you think that they actually, flashed back at you or made some sort of response?
How often do they respond back with their own flashes?
It's the purpose of laser pointer is we'll do a couple in the sky, and it'll give them, I guess, an idea of where we're at, because it goes pretty high. But they'll flash in the sky like a camera, and you'll do a circle around it, and then they'll flash again, and they'll do a circle around again, and that's how we make contact.
Do they ever do more than just like a flash?
Sometimes, yes. There's different things that they can do. They can sometimes just a month ago, my brother and Uncle Bob, I went inside to check on the girls, and my brother said that they seen a cloud, and he said they seen a craft, like a rectangular craft, right above the house, and it was just going slow, and it had like a little smoke screen behind it.
Have you had any negative experiences, such as ears ringing, loss of time, or maybe even something as far as like an abduction?
Like I said, I had a dream. I was taking a nap during midday, and I was getting on the corridor, and I looked down the hall, and I see a little hybrid alien child, and I woke up, my heart was pounding.
Have you ever thought of the idea that you want to be abducted? Have you ever? No?
No, I don't want to be abducted, no. I would like to be consensual. I would like to be in person, shake hands or whatever, but I don't want to be abducted without my own free will and stuff like that. No, I don't.
But what if it was your free will?
Yeah,
would you?
If I chose to, yes, I would do that. Yes, to make contact. Yes. Yes, the women have the same story, and the guys have the same story. The women, supposedly, they're impregnating the women, and they take the baby later on and abduct her again, and they keep on abducting this lady, and they make this lady play with this baby throughout its life, and they keep on abducting the lady, and
You better go back inside.
they say that one day that we'll all be together, telepathically. They're not, but they all have like the gray in the slit in the mouth, but they all say one day that we'll all be together, whatever the hell that means. Heck, that means.
As dark as it is now, it's not actually fully dark outside. But have you seen crafts at this light right now?
I've seen a craft one time.
Yeah.
And I've seen a fireball that was like a big old fireball, and it hit the ground, and you think it should have projected back up, but it didn't. But I've seen you'll see sparklers, you'll see right above your head, and you'll see the flashes, and you'll see there's numerous stuff that you'll see.
So after our interview, we prepared ourselves for the meditation and therefore possible alien contact. For our preparation, I went ahead and brought along my SB7 spirit box. This device picks up white noise and does radio sweeps every 1/10 of a second. I brought this along for this experiment because Seth had told me prior that other white noise anomalies have occurred in past contacts, which was most frequently seen in walkie-talkie signals.
Well, and it also, if they are...
Another device we would bring along was Seth's camera and tripod. This was a very special camera with a very unique lens. This camera would allow for us to view the sky as if it were almost daylight outside and not in the typical night vision fashion. For a camera that is meant to operate at night, this thing is actually incredible. It looks as if it's almost daylight outside, even when it's pitch black.
Awesome.
Another device that Seth had claimed we would need tonight was his laser pointer. Seth would apparently use this device to make contact with these extraterrestrial beings.
You see that this awakeness is omnipresent. It is not bound to space. Let us sit here together in silence, centered within our own selves. Let us close our eyes and take some deep cleansing breaths from this sacred and ancient place. As we breathe in, See that we are centering and our consciousness is expanding. As we exhale, become very relaxed and release all negativity, tension, and fears. And feel yourself settling into a deep peace.
Unfortunately, our meditation was cut short because the battery on Seth's speaker apparently had drained. But guess what? This would not matter at all, because as soon as we looked up into the night sky, we had already lost that $100 bet.
Right there, guys. Got one right over here. You see that one moving? No, you see that? I'm so bubbling.
You're all good. I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. See?
In fact, because me and Rubius were so convinced we would have zero experiences tonight, we did not have Seth's camera ready at all, and therefore were not prepared in the slightest bit for what was to happen.
Of course.
Really happened with your host, Mike Rivero.
You wanted me to turn this off, right?
Turn it off.
I'm gonna record it.
It's going out of the circle. It just did it on its own. I didn't move the circle, and it moved out of the circle on its own.
But you can't tell them to power up for you, and they will.
He's about to go behind the tree.
Oh, he's going really slow. Oh no, I don't see it.
He slowed down.
Oh, I do see it. Yeah,
Still seeing him.
yeah, he's going, but he barely. You see it?
He
He barely.
literally was going like, can you see my hand? He was going down, and he goes.
Although we had missed some of the earlier and more extravagant phenomena on camera, such as flashes of light and extreme directional changes, I still had caught something on film I had never before seen in my entire life, and I was honestly dumbfounded. I would say over the course of about 1 hour, I saw 10 different crafts moving in 10 totally different directions during our session. And no, these were not planes. This is what a plane looks like in this camera, and Seth himself would even point out planes as they came along. Along with this evidence we caught on video, I had reviewed some of the mic audio I put up to the SB7 Spirit Box from that night, and oddly enough, there was an occasional blip in the audio which I had never heard before when surfing through these radio stations.
This awakeness. And beyond us, space, with the same light of awareness. As we expand further, we go beyond our solar system.
If you thought those experiences were bizarre, well, the craziest thing out of this entire night was yet to happen.
You wanted me to turn this off, right?
Turn it off.
We were looking at the stars for so long that we had realized Seth told us he was using the restroom and, well, never came back.
So yeah, Emily, can you go ahead and turn the light back on?
Seth?
Where the fuck is Seth?
So it was now dark and we had no idea of where we were walking, but we decided to go ahead and try and find where Seth might be if he was still somewhere in the backyard.
Is he hiding?
Seth? It's fucking bugs, man. Seth, are you there?
feels like we've been walking in circles.
In circles?
Yeah.
It's odd that you say that. But Seth seriously is gone right now. We don't know what happened to him. It's actually very odd because we did not hear any audio cues.
No, I mean, there was nothing. It just, we were looking at the stars, we looked down, turned the lights on, and no Seth.
And he was gone. Yeah. So let's do a CE5 meditation right where we were over here and try and see if we can reach out.
Yeah. Focus on him coming down.
Yeah. All right.
Mushrooms and jalapenos with Alfredo sauce is fucking slap.
Mushrooms and jalapenos with Alfredo sauce.
As we expand further, we go beyond our solar system, and we soar through the entire Milky Way galaxy.
Seth! Seth, are you there? It says it's 12:10 right now.
I set a 3-minute timer at 12.
Yeah. And, it's 12:10.
Nothing had seemed to work, and at one point in the night, I thought Seth was even pulling a prank on us. You can see for yourself here.
Holy shit! Seth, is that you? Seth! 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 Fuck. What is that? Seth! What is that? Seth! I think that we're gonna go ahead and head out because Seth's not here. We've looked everywhere for him. Tried everything. We're on his property too. I don't know if he's playing a prank on us, but we just probably need to get off because I don't feel comfortable just, staying here. So we're going to head back to the car, just call it a night, everything like that.
I did not make it back to my car that night. In fact, I had severe ear ringing, had missing time, and even woke up with a headache. But our story was still lacking one final conclusion. Where was Seth? And I had realized there was another way to contact Seth I had not even thought about the night prior.
Hey, is this Seth? Hey, this is
So, as it turns out, the next day Seth told me over the phone that this was not even his property or his home. And therefore, Seth decided to leave the second he believed our contact to be officially over. But in the grand scheme of my adventure, I possibly had been abducted, I had seen real extraterrestrial crafts, and I had learned so much more. There is an extra cut of this video on my Patreon about demons and UFOs. As well, if you enjoyed this video, a subscription to my channel is greatly appreciated. And lastly, I'll see you all again in a couple of weeks on my next Hunt for the Truth.